Hello, welcome back. So before I start my makeup, the first thing I'm going to apply is this moisturizer by Emoline. If you watched my earlier videos, you will understand and know that how deeply concerned I am with regards to prepping my skin. It is very important to set your base before applying any sort of foundation on your face. So I'm going to use this Youth Code Serum by L'Oreal. Now, only when you purchase this face serum will you understand how brilliant the formula of this product is. So my face is all prepped. It looks hydrated and juicy and it is glowing. So now we can move on to the next step. Since I've hydrated my face and neck, I cannot forget my lips. So I'm using this Nykaa Serial Kisser Lip Balm and it does a great job of hydrating your lips very well. Next, I'm using my all-time favorite primer, which is the Nykaa Prep Me Up Face Primer. I'm applying it in areas where I am most likely to crease. If you are a person with an oily skin, you can totally skip using a primer and you can only go in with a moisturizer. However, if you are a person with dry to normal skin, I wouldn't recommend you to skip using a primer. Since I've already hydrated my face, to lock that hydration in my skin, I'm using this setting spray. Now this is a festive look and I'm sure you wouldn't want your dark circles to be seen on any festival. So I'm just going to color correct my face using the Nykaa color corrector. Here I'm using the peach color corrector to conceal my dark circles. If you have deeper dark circles, you can use the orange color corrector. Just look at the difference. This color correcting palette is really worth the money. Now for my forehead, I'm just going to mix the two colors of orange and peach and I'm going to apply it on my forehead because it has slight tan lines, as you can see. Now for my mouth area, I have light pigmentation which is not too light and which is not too dark. So again, I'm just going to mix the two colors and I'm going to apply it around my mouth. The best thing you can do is to apply these correctors using your fingers because it is easier to work with rather than using a brush or a beauty blender. There's no harm in using a beauty blender, but remember one thing, anytime you use a beauty blender is just going to absorb maximum product. So, and if you use a brush, the product that you apply on your face is going to be a little too much. So if you want minimal amount of product, the best thing you can do is use your fingers. Next, for foundation, I'm using the Nykaa SKINgenius foundation and I'm going to list down the shade number below in the description box. This foundation is not full coverage, but it gives you pretty decent amount of coverage, which is, I think, perfect for festivals. I have said this in my previous videos and I'm saying it even now. Do not forget to use the foundation on your neck because it looks really bad. It looks very uneven when you only apply foundation on your face and not on your neck. Blending well is very important if you want a clean base. And like I've said before, do not drag the beauty blender. You're just going to spoil the entire texture of your foundation and it's going to look very cakey. It's going to look greasy. So just dab. Don't forget to dab the beauty blender on your ears and even a little behind your ears to make the entire face look even. Next, for concealer, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD in the shade Pure Beige. Whenever you're using a concealer under your eyes, make sure that you don't use a lot of foundation under your eyes as well. It's just gonna make your under eyes crease very soon. I'm just gonna apply very little concealer on areas that I want my face to get highlighted the most. Also, when you are dabbing, just make sure that the beauty blender is not dry and it is slightly wet, at least damp. Next, for blush, I'm not using any powder blush. Instead, I'm using this lipstick by Nykaa in the shade Wake Up Makeup. It is like a nice nude color. Now the only reason I'm using a nude color on my cheeks is because I will be using a slightly bold color on my lips. So this is like another tip, that whenever you're using a bold lip color, make sure to not make your cheeks look prominently pink or red or any dark color. Now, after using all the possible cream based products, it is time to set your face. So for setting my face, I'm using this Maybelline Fit Me Compact in the shade 220. Again, if you have oily skin, set your entire face with the compact or with a loose powder. But if you have dry skin or normal to dry skin, just use the compact or loose powder in areas that you may crease. If you have to ask me what is creasing, when you smile, if you get those lines around your mouth or even under your eyes, you will notice that sometimes the concealer or foundation gets stuck between those fine lines. So that is called creasing. So in order to avoid creasing, you need to set your face with a powder so that the foundation is not stuck between those lines. Now this is an eyebrow pencil that I had just purchased from a local store. I don't know what brand it is from, but if you want a similar eyebrow pencil, I would recommend you to use the Wet n Wild or the PAC eyebrow pencil, or there are many actually. Whether you purchase an eyebrow pencil of $100 or you purchase an eyebrow pencil of $500 to $1,000, it is still going to do the same job of shaping your eyebrows or even making it look darker. So that's totally your choice. Now to contour and highlight my face, I'm going to use this Maybelline V-Face Duo Stick. Now contouring is done to structure your face, basically to sharpen your features, to give your face that HD look. But I don't think I need to do that right now. I don't prefer doing it actually. But if you want to use a darker contour, I will list down the various type of contours that you can use in the description box. I've contoured the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my jawline, and I'm contouring my cheekbones. So when you use a contour on your face, just dab the beauty blender upwards and don't drag it. Next for highlighter, I'm using the same Maybelline Duo Stick, and this is how the highlighter looks like. Next for eyes, I'm going to use my all-time favorite Makeup Revolution palette. Just look how pretty it is. Now for my crease, I'm using this nude color. Just FYI, this is the same eyeshadow brush from the palette. In the first step of eye makeup, all you have to do is just take your time and build the color in your crease. Now next for my outer V, I'm using this brown color which has a slight hint of purple in it. Dust off the excess product and work it on your outer V. Place the brush directly on your outer V and start blending it in a circular motion. And once you feel that the product on the brush is less, then you can move towards your crease. Just use the first coat of eyeshadow on your outer V, blend it well till it actually looks and feels blended, and then once it is done, then you can go ahead with the second coat of eyeshadow. Now this shade that I've used is just a transition shade that I'm using on my outer V as well as in my crease. Now this tip is specially for people with hooded eyes. When you're using an eyeshadow on your outer V, just slightly lift your brow bone and then use the eyeshadow because it's going to be easier for you to work with. After using a transition shade, I'm using the brown and the black color from this palette on my outer V just to give a little depth and a shadow effect to my eyes. Again, just press the brush on your outer V and just keep blending it. Now when you're working with a darker shade, don't use it in your crease, just strictly keep it towards the outer V and not beyond that. Now I'm using the first transition shade that I had used earlier and I'm going to work it up on my crease again. Also, another important tip, if your brush is kind of flat like this, use it straight, like vertically. Don't use it horizontally and don't just make the brush sleep. This way it is easier to give your eyes that depth effect. Eye makeup is not some rocket science, so you just have to blend well, add some more color if you want some more pigment, and again blend well, and you are done. Now for my lids, I'm using this glitter by Swiss Beauty. I will list down the shade below in the description box. Now you see your eyes have a shape, so I'm using this glitter exactly in the shape of my eyelids. Now when you use this product on your eyelids, it's not supposed to go beyond your center of the eyelids. You're just supposed to use it starting from the inner corner of your eyelids to the center. You're not supposed to use it towards the outer V of your eyelids. I love what look this product gives. This is how the liquid glitter eyeshadow looks like. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm using this Lakme Iconic eyeliner. If you like a thick liner or a winged liner, you can go ahead and do it, but I don't prefer winged liners or thick eyeliners, which is why I'm just playing safe and drawing a very thin layer of eyeliner. Next, for Kajal, I'm using the Maybelline Colossal Kajal in my waterline. I'm also going to use the Kajal in my upper waterline. This is only going to give an illusion of bigger, wider eyes. Now this is an eyeshadow brush that I will be using to smoke out my lower lash line. Now I'm going to use this light mauve color here as a transition shade in my lower lash line. Now with the same blending brush from the palette, I'm using these two colors. I'm actually mixing these two colors and again I'm going to apply it in my lower lash line. I'm just trying to give a nice transition shade to my lower lash line. And lastly, for my inner corners, I'm using this bright white glitter shade. For mascara, I'm using this Maybelline Colossal Mascara and I love this mascara. Now I'm just going to set my face with the setting spray and then we're going to move on to applying lipstick, which is the last part of our makeup. I have two shades in mind, so I think I'm just going to use a combination of both these shades. The first shade is Color Bar Matte Me As I Am lip color and the second one is from PAC. I'm using the PAC one on my lips. This is like a nice brown color which has an orange undertone to it. Now I'm going to use the Color Bar lipstick over the PAC one just to give the lipstick a slight pink undertone. However, you can use any lipstick of your choice. So this is my final festive look. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and if you did, please like the video. Bye.